What's going on, guys? Tonight we got the Blood Ghost. It's a really cool looking pot. Look at the way that purple bleeds through the red like that. It gets splotchy. That's really cool looking. Looks like it got a little bit of a burn spot to it. But that's alright, we're gonna eat it. I want to see what the interior looks like. Ooh. Oh yeah. That is a really cool looking interior. It's a pretty large section of placenta or pith. Pepper's almost all pith on one side, a little bit on the other. This is the Blood Ghost. Fruity, a little bit floral, and bitter, but a very balanced amount of each. The bitter started coming in and seemed like it was going to overpower, but it didn't. It balanced out with the fruity and floral. And quite pleasant. I think it was the seeds gave it a little bit of a nutty flavor at the end there. So it's fruity and floral all the way through, with fruity being the more predominant. And then the bitter came in and almost started diminishing the other two flavors. It seemed like it was going to go overpower everything. But then it balanced out, and it was all three. It was fruity, floral, and bitter, but very balanced. Good amount of fruitiness, a little bit of floral, and a decent amount of bitter, but not too bad. It seemed like it was going to get really bitter. But then there at the end, after all three of those flavors had combined equally, I got a little bit of a nutty flavor at the tail end. I believe that's from the seeds. All the seeds can cause a nutty flavor. And the way that balanced out is pretty good. It's definitely unusual. You usually don't really taste the seeds unless you have them by themselves. They usually blend into the flavors, and they can be pretty neutral. I don't really get too much flavor from seeds, just a little bit of nuttiness. This one was a very, very strong nuttiness to the flavor. But it blended in well. Somehow the fruitiness, the floral, and the bitter worked with the nuttiness. Heat, I'm at about a 1. I'll tell you what, pods keep being this good. I can sit down and just keep eating them. I love peppers. Guess I'm in the right profession then, right? And that pot was beautiful too. Glad. There's sometimes they have a lot of ornamental value. They look really good, and that's usually where it ends. Usually they look really good. They don't taste that great. Excuse me, pepper burp. especially when it comes to pods that have purpling to them. Depending on the pod, if it's a purpling and a red, usually they get a good fruitiness to it. But typically there's a lot of floral that comes along with it. It's usually like the purple and peach pods typically are you get some citrus notes, but they usually tend to just be very floral and bitter, just lacking flavor. Now, not all of them though. I've had a couple people tell me they had some that were absolutely beautiful to look at, beautiful to grow, and they actually tasted really good. I've had some that did, some that didn't. On both, every color of the spectrum having purple in it. And nowadays, the ornamental value is almost irrelevant because pods are looking so beautiful nowadays that it doesn't necessarily dictate its flavor. They look good and they taste good. In fact, I can't tell you the last time I had a pod that I was like, I don't like that. Couldn't tell you the last time because I've liked every single one of them for a long time. Heat literally went nowhere. In fact, it fell off just as quickly as it came on. My nose was already runny before this. I was outside in the cold. But yeah, that was the Blood Ghost. Very tasty pepper. Highly suggest that one. I haven't talked to a single person that didn't like that one. All right, guys, burn daily.